Okay, you have your NFL Week 17 power rankings. So number 10, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They won against the Jets. It was a good win, and even though the Jaguars are only 7-8, they've been getting really hot, and that's a good time to get hot. And their offense has been playing really well with Trevor Lawrence having a great stretch of games. Their defense, even though they did play well against the Jets, they do have to improve a little bit if they want to be with the contenders. And Jacksonville, it was a good win over the Jets. Their defense actually played well, and their offense has just been good right now. And the Jaguars, even though they're still 7-8, they're starting to heat up at the right time. At number 9, I have the Baltimore Ravens up a spot. A very ugly game versus the Falcons. Um, and their defense did their job, held Falcons to only 3 field goals. Their offense really could not get started, like many would expect. The offense is just not the same without Lamar Jackson. And if the Ravens want to make a deep postseason run, they have to get Lamar because the offense is just not good without it. Their defense, though, have been playing well, and they did have a good game versus the Falcons, but they have to get Lamar Jackson back if they want to be one of the top teams. And at number 8, I have the Minnesota Vikings down a spot. Another very close game to the Giants, and the Vikings, they just can't get any big wins. Their offense played fine, their defense played fine, but the game was always close, and that's going to come back to bite them. They won off a 61-yard game-winning field goal, and you just can't have that every single week. But the Vikings, they do well during clutch situation, and that might come in handy, but they have to get these blowouts against sooner or later. And number 7, I have the LA Chargers up 2 spots. They clinched the playoff spot. They beat the Colts. Their offense with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back has been good. They didn't play particularly well yesterday, but offense is good, like we always thought. But it's their defense. These last 3 or 4 games, they've been playing great, lights out defense, and the defense has been such a big weakness these during the season that them playing this well makes them a dangerous team, and their offense obviously playing well, and they're also starting to heat up at the right time. So I have them at 7. Number 6, I have the Cincinnati Bengals down a spot. They played great in the first half versus the Patriots, but in the second half they got pretty much shut down. Their defense, to me, is still one of the more underrated units. They played a good game versus the Patriots. The Patriots only got 18 because of a fluke touchdown, but their defense has been playing great. Offense was kind of inconsistent versus the Patriots. First half was great, second half was not great, and that's kind of the Bengals. And but the Bengals right now are a very hot team. They're well rounded. Their defense is great. Their offense is great. It's just sometimes they're a bit sluggish, like against the Patriots. But I can still see them going deep in the playoffs. Number 5, I have the Dallas Cowboys up a spot. Against the Eagles, their offense played great, even with that pick six on the first drive for the Cowboys. That Prescott bounced back. They have a lethal running game, but it's their defense. Last 2 games, they allowed 34 and 40 points, and they can't keep on doing that. It was against good offenses, but still, that's a lot of points. And their defense last 2 games have not been good, and they only won against the Eagles because of a couple of turnovers. And I don't know why their defense has been playing great throughout the season, but last 2 games they have not. But luckily, their offense is coming around, and I still have to see the Dallas as a top 5 team. Number 4, I have the Kansas City Chiefs staying where they are. A good game over the Seahawks. Their offense played great in the first half. Their defense played great in the second half. It was just a good overall win. Not much to say about it, and it was just a good win. Number 3, I have the San Francisco 49ers, similar to the Chiefs. Another good win versus the um, Commanders. Offense played good and good. Their defense played great, and it was just a good overall win. Not much to say. Brock Purdy's playing good. Their skill players are coming there, and they're just playing good. Number 2, I have the Philadelphia Eagles down 1 spot. They're down the spot because of them losing to the Cowboys, and but it was Gardner Minshew starting us, so I can't knock them too hard. They're still a very talented team. Their offense put up 34 points and could have won if not for a couple of mistakes that hopefully won't happen with Hurts in. Their defense, last couple of games haven't been the greatest, and against the Cowboys, they did not do well in the second half. But they're still a very talented team, and like I said, they're starting Minshew, and they're only down 1 spot. They're still the second best team. Then the teams that dropped out, I have the Dolphins, and Tua is out for probably the rest of the season unless they make the playoffs. And the Dolphins, they just aren't a very clutch team right now, and they're collapsing in the December. And Defense could not stop when they mattered most, and their offense could not score when they mattered most. They're still a good team in the first 3 quarters, but they just can't finish off their team. They're kind of like the Vikings, and opposite of the Vikings. So they dropped out. They're just ice cold right now, and then a 4 game losing streak. Number one team is the Buffalo Bills. Had a good win over the Bears. Josh Allen threw a couple of bad picks, but it's their run game. Their run game has just been great the last few weeks. Their defense, after a few skids, played well against the Bears, and with the run game going and Josh Allen coming back, I think Bills have a lethal offense, probably one of the best offenses next to the Eagles, and their defense also played really well, and they're definitely a dangerous team right now. So there you have it, my NFL Week 17 power rankings.